am Dr. Inesh. I am from the intern batch of KMC, the freshly formed interns right now. We'll be giving you a quick run through as to what CPR actually is and how any one of you, despite being a doctor, medical student or a non-medical student, can come across situations like this. Okay? So this is with the team of Campus Pretioso, the emergency medicine club of KMC Manipal. And a lot of emergency management techniques have been taught under this club. We are mostly focusing on CPR. Without wasting any time, guys, does anyone know what CPR is? Full form? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Can someone tell me what is the meaning of resuscitation? Resuscitation. Huh?
To bring back.
To bring back. Cardiopulmonary. Cardiopulmonary. So bringing the heart and lungs back, basically. So cardiopulmonary resuscitation is our prime focus today for this session, which is planned for you people. Let's go into the story. What is this? World map. Amazing. Can someone point out the continent of Africa for me? This one. This is Africa. How many countries in Africa? 50. So 53 countries in Africa. Anyways, have you heard about this small country out here, those of you cannot see? The country of Seychelles. Currently, the smallest country out there, I guess second or third after Vatican City. Just like any other enthusiast, just like any vacation, which was something which I got after 3-4 years staying in Manipal because we were the COVID batch, and after that we weren't getting much holidays. I got 9 holidays in 1 year, something like that, which was in my 4th year of MBBS. So we planned on doing this trip once I started my internship to the country of Seychelles. The mere fact that this country is so small that you actually cannot see it in the world map, something which thrilled me to go to this small island, explore the beaches, the sunset, which everyone wants to do, of course. So this is how Seychelles looks, very small, and if you read about it, you know, 1 day is actually enough, 1 or 2 days to roam around the island. So whatever the scene was, we landed in, well, it was also called Mahe Island out there. So we landed in Mahe Island, and from there we went to this place called as Praline, which I guess is called in French or Creole, I don't speak either of them. So we reached Praline, and of course it was a planned trip, and I realized, okay, you know what? Since Praline has Anslazu, which is one of the world's best beach right now, with regards to the water, sunset, beach, and the blue waters, different colors out there in the sunset. So of course anyone would be excited. So all in all, what I'm trying to say, it was a planned trip. Me, my family, we all were there, and I remember the moment we got out of our car. So basically you can hire cars out there with an Indian driving license. So the moment I got off my car, my sister and I are going in front, my father behind me, and my mom is getting the swimming clothes in the bag. We started taking pictures. Like every youngster out there, we were making content for an Instagram out there because we were taking a lot of pictures, of course, silhouettes and me walking and all the candles, all that. So we reached there, and the moment I reached the beach, my sister started taking photos of me, and this is how it looked on that day. Beautiful, beautiful vibes out there. But 5 minutes into the beach of Anslazio, I saw a group of 5 to 6 men carrying a person from the water to the shore. Does that bring anything in your mind? Drowning, okay. Do all drownings lead to deaths? So what is that drowning called which does not lead to death? Water has gone inside the lungs, but we don't know if the person has died or not. Let's say the person has not died and has the potential to survive. What is that form of drowning called? Sorry? It's not called pneumonia. Pneumonia is an infection, it's completely different. It's something called as near drowning, okay? Close to drowning, but the person hasn't drowned, okay? So I saw a group of 5 to 6 men carry a person from the water to the shore. Am I sure if the person has drowned or not? Is it near drowning or complete drowning? Can I tell it with this amount of information up here? Not really. Legit 10 or 15 seconds while I was there, I saw people carrying that, and two men and one woman shouting as to what is happening, something in their language which I wasn't understanding. Within seconds, my dad told me, Inesh, CPR. Okay? My dad is a doctor as well. My dad told me, Inesh, CPR. To be very, very honest, you will be getting a lot of opportunities in med school to learn this procedure. However, practical application is something which you will only come across in internship. If before that, then it's by luck, by accident. And this is something none of us expected. Because, well, it was a general family vacation. I had never given a CPR before that. It was all the simulation classes the previous seniors of Tempus had taken when I was in first year. And the lessons which we had in our ongoing routine classes, medicine, etc. So it was all on mannequins, never realizing how it would actually feel once we did this on real human beings. Okay? The adrenaline was real, trust me, because I was confused. No matter how simple, you'll understand how simple this procedure is. I actually had no clue what to do. And the first thing, which I still remember, was me. It was like that typical Indian actress out there. I actually, threw everything what I had, and I ran this 100 meters and I shouted, "I'm coming, something like that." If there is a person who has come drowned from the shore, what is the first thing would you suspect? What's the first thing you would do to ensure that things will go fine in your intervention? Heartbeat. So if there are 5-6 people surrounding this person, you just go and check for heartbeat, or would you want them to clear away firstly, right? Wouldn't you want that if there are 5-6 men who are surrounding that man who have no clue what to do, wouldn't you want them to go away so that you can, continue your work? Will you ensure some sane safety out there? For example, if there is a person out there and I want to give CPR, wouldn't you want that people who are actually not required, to be honest, to go away from them? I reached there, shouting, I'm a doctor, please clear the scene, okay? Within minutes, within seconds, do I have to see if the person is responsive or not? Has he actually died, or is he alive? Or somewhere in between? Do we have to check that? I patted his shoulders. Sir, are you okay? Is he alive? Something like that. No response. I saw the chest. No chest rise. I felt for the pulse. Which pulse is this, by the way? Carotid pulse. The principal artery which takes blood to your brain. Okay? No pulse out there. So do I give up now? Okay, the person has died. Let's stop. Let's try to get him back to life, right? When I reached back my hotel, someone had actually taken my phone and clicked pictures. So this is from that day. And this is just initially when I had reached the scene. This is my dad out here, and this is the lifeguard, and that's me. We cleared the scene. This is the wife of the old man. I cleared the scene. I checked for the carotid pulse. Within seconds, there was nothing. Within 5 to 6 seconds, I counted. I started giving chest compressions with all the knowledge I had. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Within a couple of compressions, I had this another person who I later got to know was a French nurse, and he was also trained in giving CPR. Only for me to later realize that person didn't know the correct way to give CPR. Okay? So basically, when we were alternating, this person was not giving the correct chest compressions. I actually had to scold him in between. I actually had to scold that lifeguard who didn't know how to give air. Why are we giving air? Cardiopulmonary. You're resuscitating two things right now. There is a certain way you give air in CPR, okay? That person wasn't doing that well. In addition to that, the stupidest thing I saw was a German couple who was trying to throw water on the face to get the person back to life. Okay, so you will encounter people, and as a medical officer or as a medical student or as anyone who knows the knowledge of CPR, you have to shoo them away, to be very honest. Okay? Know what you're doing because you are the only one who knows what CPR means. So we started with the chest compressions. 30s to do, 30s to do, 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compression, 2 breaths. Within 3-4 cycles, you will be exhausted. French nurse took over. So that continued. Within that course of time, I saw froth coming out of this man's mouth. White colored froth from the nose and from the mouth. In addition to that, I saw blood coming out from the eyes as well. Just on a side note, maybe he might have hit his cell against a rock and fell down in the water, or he drowned and hit himself against the rock. So whatever, something happened here as well. So it was a critical case. But whatever, that is something which we cannot manage with the limited instruments or basically nothing in our hands as of now. The only thing which we could do was get the heart back to life, get the lungs going so that we can provide oxygen and blood to the brain. I continued with the CPR cycles, and as for my information, 10 to 12 minutes down the line, this man who was lifeless and this 80-year-old woman crying in Italian something she was saying, she was kissing his cheek. Come back to life, something. The agony and despair that the woman would be having also creates extra pressure in you because you are the only one who will be out there, okay? We continued with CPR, and this is man who was lying like this, face tilted, eyes open but no response, with an open mouth, froth coming out. Within minutes I saw the lips moving like this. Is that a show short information that things have come back to life? Continue CPR, don't stop CPR. There's another component of CPR called as AED, automatic external defibrillator, which delivers shock, not that shock, it's a different kind of shock. The stickers which you apply on the chest, that was not there with the lifeguard. It's mandatory for every waterborne area to have that. Okay, that wasn't there. I continued CPR with all the energy I had along with that French nurse. And within minutes, we saw his pulse came back. The carotid pulse came back. The radial pulse came back. Dorsalis pedis came back, the one in your foot. Everything came back. We continued. And of course, during this course of time, we had shouted for help. Call the ambulance, call someone at least. Because CPR alone would just get the pulse back. But we have to see what else has to be done. The brain might have been damaged, there is a lot of water in the lungs. You cannot take out all the water by CPR, okay? The ambulance came, took the man back. I really didn't know what had happened because everything happened in a span of 10-12 minutes. We went back to our hotel. I saw the pictures. I don't know who took that in my phone. And we texted this guy who was next to the beach, a restaurant out there. Hey, greetings, those of whom we cannot read. Dr. Vij here from India. We are the family who ate in a restaurant on the 14th. Just wanted to know any updates on that Italian man at the beach the other day, the one whom we helped recover. Did he survive? Hi, I followed on him. He was sent to my hospital, that means Mahi Island. He had lots of water in his lungs. My understanding he made it, but I have no more details. What is your job once you give a CPR? For complete management A to Z? No, that is not CPR. You need to get the heart and lungs back to life. That's when CPR ends. After that, you have the advanced algorithm section. You will learn that in MedSchool. But right now, let's stick to CPR. Okay? I was called for this to take this session out here, campus, for you guys. So just a couple of days ago, this is from 18 June when it actually happened. A couple of days ago, hi friend, we met in April this year, me and my son, this is my father's chat history. Me and my son had saved a man from drowning. Do you know what happened finally? I hope he went back home. I'm very sorry, but I tried to find out. They would not release any information. Each one of you when you become doctors. patient information should not be released. He was right at his hand. Patient confidentiality. Remember that. I did not see anything in the news as well. Normally, if it was a fatality, it would have been reported on the news. So I think he was okay. So we all feel he was okay, but if he did not make it after the CPR, we will not know that. But the primary step after this drowning case is CPR. It's only after that that the advanced algorithms to save the man would come into play. Advanced algorithms cannot start before a CPR. I hope that makes sense. Okay. You can take a picture of this. This is the only time I would require you to use your phones. You can see this later after this session is done. When CPR was done, I had reported everything on the beach, like legit 1 to 2 minutes after that. And this would actually give you an exact clue as to how exactly stuff happened on that day. I have documented it. And an entire blog has also been written on it. It's on my Instagram, you can read it as well. Basically narrating as to how the things went and how mind process of a typical medical student goes when you come across stuff like this. So before I conclude, I just want to tell you one thing. Do you know Dr. Purva Pavapati? She was also in the news. She's not a doctor in Indigo Airlines. She's from our college, and she was also the president of the largest medical association in the country right now, from KFC. She's right now doing the MD ophthalmology in our college. She is 3 years senior to me, batch of 2016. When I was in first year, back in 2019, she had given us the same talk on CPR. She had saved a woman's life in Indigo Airlines. Is there a doctor on flight? She was the doctor on flight. Okay. But at that time, she was a third year MBBS student, not a doctor. Okay. And she was asked by our batch's inspiration, take these classes seriously. Whatever you learn, remember, it will come into play. But whatever you learn hands-on will come a lot into play. Each one of you will study books, remember that. But how well do you apply that information is a matter of concern, remember that. You all are in med school right now. Now it's more on how well you become doctors, because each one of you will read books. What differentiates you from other person is how well you are with your skills. Remember that. It's not about getting good marks. Okay? So feel free to contact me if you have any, and you can take a picture of this. If you want to talk about med school, music, travel, and anything else apart from that, I will be glad to help. Feel free to text, call, whatever. And all of us are here, all your seniors are here to make sure that you have a smooth journey here in Manipal. Okay? And Instagram, LinkedIn is also there. Everything has mentioned that CPR day. You can scroll and see, okay? Especially the video on YouTube. So time to get into action. That was the CPR story for you. Time to get into action. So what did we learn today? Oh, by the way, these are my medicine notes. This is a short note for you in final year MBBS. Write the steps of basic life support when you see a patient. Oh, by the way, this CPR is only done for drowning patients or any patient? And you were walking down the streets of Manipal, you saw a person clenching his fist against his heart and falling down. CPR. Okay. So these are my notes. Don't need to go into whatever is written there. But just a quick summary. Did I ensure scene safety when when I went to that drowned man out there? I don't want people who are unnecessary, who don't know anything and just adding to the burden of CPR. Okay? I checked his pulse. I checked for responsiveness. Is he actually alive? I called for help. I checked for pulse, respiration, and I started CPR. Another step of CPR is attaching those sticky electrical pads, what is AED, automated external defibrillator, which actually delivers shock of 20 joules. Don't go into the details. And that will rewrite the electrical activity of the heart, if you're not too sure. It all depends on if the things go well. Okay? So long story short, guys, come on, let's do a quick summary in 1 minute. What is the first thing I did in CPR? Scene safety, establish scene safety. What is the next thing? Check for responsiveness. You don't want to give CPR to a person who's alive. Okay, he'll vomit. Okay. So check for responsiveness. Sir, are you okay? Okay. Tap him on shoulder. Okay. Third, Chest compressions. Giving that air through the ambu-band. Okay? Defibrillation through the AED. So, early recognition and call for help. Immediately when you see there is no response, ask the people out there to call for help. Call the ambulance, because you need to initiate advanced cardiac life support after the CPR. You cannot lose time on this. You cannot call the ambulance after the CPR has given you wait 20 more minutes after that. Trust me, you won't have the energy after 20 minutes. It's a tiring process, okay? So early recognition and calling for help. Early CPR, immediately you start CPR. Early defibrillation through the sticky pads out there. And post resuscitation care, once the pulse has come back to life, it's either over to you if you have the knowledge of advanced cardiac life support, or you have it over to the ambulance people who will take him to a hospital and start him on, well, a lot of things can do, oxygen, diabetes, etc. Don't go into that right now. But basically, post CPR care is what they will do. So that's my time. Tempus will take over now to teach you what exactly the CPR algorithm is, and you will be divided into breakout groups where you will learn CPR on the medicals provided. Okay?